Hey, how's it going, everybody? And welcome to another exciting episode of Channel X. It is Wednesday. We are doing a special Wednesday episode of Channel X, but we're still in Ghostbusters month. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. And this could be a relatively short one, depending on how I do this and everything like that. But we're still going to have a good time here because we are almost done with Ghostbusters month. It is Halloween Eve. We are going to knock this out of the ballpark and everything, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And we are almost done. Like I said, we're almost done with Ghostbusters month. We got one more after tonight, and yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. And big shout out again to everybody over at the Dorkening Podcast Network and the Owl Light Network. Um, this is going to be check them out over on the YouTube channels there, and you'll be glad you did. Um, this past Monday I was, and really quick, I have breaking news that just came that just popped up on my that just popped up, and this is breaking news. You are hearing it live, folks. The LA Dodgers beat the New York Yankees to win another World Series, and yeah, and before we get so yeah, this is breaking news that just hit just now. And you're hearing it first live on Channel X on Ghostbusters Month. And so yeah, we're gonna next week we're gonna on Channel X we're gonna talk about that. And let's see, what was the final? I'm trying to get the final score here, and 7-6. So so yeah, it was a close game, and so yeah, letting you know that that's what happened. So, um, but with all things considered, um, congrats are in order for the New York Yankees for making it to at least in the World Series. It's been a long time for them and everything like that. And like I said, we're going to talk about that more next week because there's a lot to talk about. There's a, there's a lot to talk about that. So, next Thursday, because we got to start the party, and we're going to start the party early. But yeah, this was a game and everything like that. And so yeah. All right. Okay. Well, here I'm just getting things in order and everything. But anyways, going back to my shout outs and everything. Like I said, check out the Dorkening Podcast Network over on YouTube. Leo and the Game. They're awesome. They're really awesome. And, I'm really glad that. So yeah. So yeah, big shout out is in order for that, and as well as the Owl Light Network. Um, Carrie and Raz and the gang, um, having a good time on their channel. And I've been popping up lately on uh, on Tomb of the Terrible. They've been I've been contributing to watch these Amityville movies with them and everything like that. And most recent one was a Christmas theme, and it was pretty good. Not gonna lie, it was pretty cheesy, but you know it was pretty good. Classic? No, not on my list to watch on Christmas, but still. but it was pretty funny. I did chuckle a few scenes, but that's all I gotta say about that. And the name, oh yeah, the name of the movie was um Amityville Christmas, uh Amityville Christmas Vacation. Yeah, so yeah, check that out. Little recommendation for all my brilliant fans. And it's like if I have to suffer, you have to suffer. Sorry, but we're almost here to Halloween and everything. Birthday shout out to the Owl Like Network's own Carrie Del. Definitely big shout out to her. Her birthday's on Halloween, so yeah, really shout out. I'll be giving her another shout out again on tomorrow's show, and so yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, the reason why I'm doing tonight's show instead of on tomorrow is because tomorrow being Halloween, I have to do my traditional live screen. My live stream Tom Dog plays, and so yeah, everyone likes that every year and everything. But I'm taking a break of scaring myself, I hope, and and playing Ghostbusters, uh, the video game remaster. So yeah, so I'm dusting off the old PS4 primarily because it's been collecting dust, and I got to break it in. Got to get that PS5, man. I got to. So, but nonetheless, um, so tonight, um, in honor of Ghostbusters Month, because it is the anniversary of the first Ghostbusters movie. Um, I want to figure out. I want to go back to a time in my childhood where, um, when Ghostbusters was all over the place, and yeah, one of the things that I love to watch is the Real Ghostbusters, and yeah, and you'll see why that scrolling on the bottom. There's a reason why that's on there, and I thought it was a really funny line, and so yeah, and so yeah, I've been uh, posting up some Ghostbusters references, whether it was in movies or television or on the in the cartoon. So yeah, this is the cartoon, and yeah, this is pretty fun. Um, so this right here is a quote from one of the Ghostbusters episodes, and we're going to talk about that later on in the show today because tonight I am in honor of Ghostbusters month. I am counting down my top 5 favorite Real Ghostbusters episodes, and this was a thing that happened in my childhood, and and as a little kid growing up, the first Ghostbusters movie, how I was scared a little bit because of because of how scary it was. I was just a little kid then. I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and spooky things freaked me out. So we kind of left early, and yeah, so I didn't get a chance to see Slimer, and I didn't get a chance to see Mr. Stay Puft. So yeah. But then as the movie started making its way on video and everything, I gave it another chance, and yeah, I gave the movie another chance, and it was really decent. It was a decent film, and I vowed that if it was ever in theaters again, that I had to go see it. And when it did come up in theaters for the 30th anniversary, I went to go see it, and so yeah, I sat in the same, you know, I reenacted how I was in the movie theater 30 years ago. Um, when it came out, and then you know I sat there and I redeemed myself. I redeemed myself, and I also had a box of. I also snuck in a box of cheez in there. Yeah. But yeah, this was that it was a movie that 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 came a part of my childhood, as well as the cartoon was also played a big part of um of my childhood. And well, and the action figures were a hot item. um the proton pack um was it was the proton pack um play play gun, and the play ghost trap, PKE meter, um the action figures, of course, um the suit, the the Ghostbusters uniform and everything. It was very iconic. And also, but yeah, but going back to the action figures, um, some had Slimer, some had Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. The only Ghostbusters action figure I had, which to me was actually pretty cool, was Granny Ghost. I mean, Granny Gross. It was a sweet old grandmother, but then you twist her hat a certain way. Her it was the eyes there, and then the face would come down, and it had like the whole jaw down to her legs, and everything was so yeah, it was pretty creepy. So yeah, here's a sweet old grandmother, that would probably make cookies for Slimer or anything like that. But then you pull a button a certain way, you pull the hat, and it becomes a your worst nightmare. So yeah, so yeah, it was actually pretty cool. It was actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I like Randy Rhoads. So I even I wanted Tombstone Tackle, but they were out of those. That was another hot item. Tombstone Tackle, uh, and of course Ecto One. That was also pretty cool. But yeah, Kenner. That was the name of the that's what made the figures. Kenner, and then they got bought out by Hasbro. But anywho, instead of reliving the good old days of the action figures and everything like that, I'm reliving my favorite Ghostbusters episodes now. I had to do a lot of research on this, and and to be fair, I wrote them all on these cards, and so yeah, I did a lot of writing. So yeah, I'm not making this into a habit, but for the sake of the Ghostbusters month, I wanted to at least um read write down what I saw and whatever I couldn't, if I was stuck on certain things, I would have to go to. I either went to Wikipedia or I went to Ghostbusters Wiki. Yeah, primarily Ghostbusters Wiki. But um, so yeah, this was certain. I'm kind of. I won't be. I won't be mentioning um anything. I I will do my best not to reference I won't be referencing anything from Slimer in the Real Ghostbusters, which was a continuation of the Real Ghostbusters. Um, and the reason for that is that there was only one episode, and I tried to find it, and I couldn't. And I wanted to do it, which was a crossover from the Slimer cartoon that they had, and it went over to the actual Ghostbusters um, episode, and was one of the characters, which was an antagonist for Slimer, um, which is why they turned it into a kids cartoon. you know, made it more kid friendly, I guess you could say. There was I forgot the name of the episode for number one, and number two, I couldn't find the episode to even put it on to like at least either make an acknowledgement, or at least it was when Professor Dweeb um crossed paths with the real Ghostbusters, and on upon catching, trying to get Slimer, he uh he releases a ghost, and from the containment unit, and so yeah, that's one of the episodes I vaguely remember. But if I get it wrong, what I just said in that synopsis, you can fact check me on that, as well as give me the name of the episode if you have the time. Even if you don't, that's fine. But yeah, but fact check me if I got that part wrong. I welcome it. I welcome it. And chat is open too, by the way, so you can say hi and everything like that. So you can share your fond moments of the real Ghostbusters. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic. So yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to try to. I'm not stealing nostalgia critics' job there, because look at me and look at him. He's doing a lot better than I am. So let's put it that way. So shout out to him. Um, yeah, did I put any hashtags in? Oh yeah, I did. Um, I forget my age. Um, so yeah, what's going on here? So yeah, and I'm also not going to mention I'm not going to do any I'm not putting any episodes from Extreme Ghostbusters, because for the simple fact that I just want to focus on the real Ghostbusters, instead of, because Extreme Ghostbusters was a sequel show in the mid to late '90s, and so yeah, I want to try to do that separate. There'll be a time where I will go back to it, where I will go right, if I do something like this again, or even in a different video, um, different show rather. I'll just go back and you know put that on the list of my favorite shows and everything like that. So um, because there's one episode in mine that really stands out, is that all the Ghostbusters um are teaming up with the Extreme Ghostbusters, and taking down the ghost, and that's one of the episodes that I remember watching, and so yeah, it's on the list. So it's on that list, but I'm more interested in talking about the real Ghostbusters. And who knows? Maybe I'll talk about Filmation Ghostbusters in a you know somewhere down the road, because you know I know there's some that has a lot to say about it. I, on the other hand, I have a bit of a soft spot for the Filmation Ghostbusters. So yeah, and besides, they kind of paved the way for these real Ghostbusters to exist, and and the Ghostbuster franchise. as well too. So if it weren't for the filmation Ghostbusters, then yeah, the legacy of the Ghostbusters would never exist. So yeah, gotta give them some credit. Got to. Plus Tracy, correct? He was the ape. That was in he was the gorilla that was in the show. I gotta go back. This was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I like them. Let's go, Ghostbusters. Let's go. Uh, I'm sorry. I'm getting too nostalgic. I'm supposed to be talking about the real Ghostbusters. Let's get it together, Tom Dog. Come on. There's an audience watching. There's a fan base. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear about that that kid friendly Ghostbuster show. Even though there were some scary points in there and everything. So yeah. And uh, excuse me. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back. My apologies, folks. But when nature calls, nature calls. I can't do nothing about that. Things happen. Gotta do what you gotta do. You know. Okay. Anywho, so yeah, so these are so yeah. I'm not gonna be doing. I'm also, I'm not gonna be doing any, um, you know, adding Extreme Ghostbusters to the list. But but yeah, that'll be in a future episode as well too. So maybe I'll do another Ghostbusters month and, and put all the other Ghostbusters that that wasn't on this month. Yeah. Okay. So so all right. This is my top 5 real Ghostbusters episodes. And but there are some honorable mentions that I do want to bring up, and that is um Ghost Star Us, which if I'm not mistaken was the pilot episode. Um there was a Christmas episode, um which I forgot. I forgot the name of the episode, but I didn't want to put it on the list because it gets an honorable mention because you know being that it's Halloween, and I didn't want to talk about um I didn't want to talk about Christmas on a holiday that's supposed to be scary and everything. So yeah, that's the primary reason why that's not on the list. So, and then there's some other ones too that I forgot as well. Um, which also which continued on with the Slimer and the World Ghostbusters. So, and that episode does get an honorable mention as well. So yeah, here we go. Um, so yeah, this is all in no particular order. And also the episode Knock Knock, which also gets an honorable mention as well too. That one was pretty good. Okay, so here we go. Number 5 on my list is Citizen Ghost. It's um a news reporter interviews Peter about how Slimer stayed with the Ghostbusters. Meanwhile, the Ghostbusters have in in the in the in the story, it takes place after. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll do the keynotes instead. Meanwhile, the Ghostbusters have to face ghost versions of themselves when when Peter while Peter's talking about the story. The He mentions on how the Ghostbusters have to face ghost versions of themselves after a containment leak from the old unit from the old containment unit got on the old got on the old uniforms after their entanglement with Gozer. Slimer risks his life by creating a distraction, allowing the Ghostbusters to save the day. And yeah, that's pretty much a little synopsis of that episode. It's actually really, you know, and a key note here: the story follows the events of the first movie. Follows the events after. The story follows the events after the first movie. So, so yeah, this is really cool because it continues on what happens to the Ghostbusters after their entanglement with Gozer, and and it tells more of the story. And personally, instead of the one little nitpick, I think Citizen Ghost should have been the pilot episode, to where they can, after what so that it wouldn't have to be a like a flashback episode and everything about how Slimer met and everything. So yeah, I think it would be you know pretty interesting if they started the series with that. But still, it's still a very good episode, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, especially um a lot of references too. Um, I forgot to put that in the keynote, that they didn't mention the Sedgwick Hotel, but they do mention about how Peter brings up that's the ghost who's slimy in the hotel. So yeah, but hardcore Ghostbusters fans know that it was the Sedgwick Hotel. Disappointment though, no Dana Barrett in this uh, uh in this show or in this episode. Um, Number 4, Take Two. The Ghostbusters fly to Hollywood as a movie is being filmed about their life. Meanwhile, a ghost who hates noise runs amok of the set. After finding their proton after finding their proton packs a mistake for after mistaking them for props, the Ghostbusters save the day and sees the finished product back home. I know it's a short synopsis of that, um, but yeah, it was basically they were making a movie about um the Ghostbusters. Some people in Hollywood wanted to make a Ghostbusters film about them, and there was a little bit a little bit of side jokes in there, um, referencing the script, and I guess they were going through some rewrites and everything like that, which was pretty much what I was talking about in the first Ghostbusters movie. And so yeah. And speaking of that, um, also in the keynotes, Bill Murray, Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, and Harold Ramis were referenced by last name only. Um, and they actually showed the opening title of the first Ghostbusters movie, and they show Venkman's door, where he's testing subjects on there, a couple of students, and but they didn't pan down to where it says "Go to hell" on the door that's graffitied on Venkman's door, and so yeah, it's a little Easter egg on there, and yeah, so yeah, that pretty much opens up a paradox and everything. So yeah, but, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool episode, and the flashing lights from the movie screen um didn't help much at all. So those with I do warn anybody that if anybody wants to watch that episode, use discretion, because there's flashing images on that in that movie theater. So yeah, um, be careful. And so yeah, anybody who is sensitive to light and everything, we don't want nobody getting seizures and everything like that. We don't want that. It's not a pleasant thing at all. Okay, number 3, Killer Watt. Everything electric has been possessed by ghosts. Then a huge power outage happens after the energy siphoning ghost named Kilowatt is responsible. Slimer saves the day by unplugging the main power supply, weakening it, weakening it enough for the Ghostbusters to scare um, enough for the Ghostbusters to save the day. And so yeah, this um in the keynotes, this was the first time Ecto One would be possessed. We would later see Ecto One being possessed in the Frozen Empire, and the voice of Kilowatt um in Kilowatt was voiced by the late James Avery. Everybody knows James Avery. He was, of course, famously known as Uncle Phil on the Fresh Prince of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and for all for kids growing up and watching cartoons like the Ghostbusters, he's the iconic voice of Shredder in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. And of course, I wanted to make sure I said that so I can as my way of shouting out to Justin. What's up? Big shout out to him. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a Ninja Turtle month. Oh yeah, we want to see that happen. Let us know in the comments section. I'll do a good Ghostbusters month, Ninja Turtle month. I really would. Maybe get him on board. That would be awesome. That would really be awesome. And but yeah, I actually do like Kilowatt because this episode was really um this was really um really good. I mean, there were a lot of appliances that were attacking the Ghostbusters. And yeah, it was some of the stuff had was actually really scary. And you know, especially even the flashlight got involved too, even though that's battery operated, not electric. And so yeah, but yeah, I it was still one of my favorite episodes. And Kilowatt was awesome. Kilowatt was an awesome design and very creepy too. A very creepy ghost. And James Avery was the only one that could voice that perfectly. And yeah, I liked it. Which of course Frozen Empire would take a little uh inspiration from that episode. But yeah. Okay. Number two. Number two. Collect Call of Cthulhu. And so yeah, here this one was a really good episode. The Necronomicon was stolen from the New York Public Library, and it's up to the Ghostbusters to save the day. The Ghostbusters discover later on that the book was stolen by the leader of a Cthulhu cult, and Peter and Egon go to Massachusetts and bring a professor that studies ancient paranorma to stop Cthulhu from destroying the city after the Ghostbusters stopped from destroying the city. After the Ghostbusters stopped Cthulhu, the cult leader was later uh, was later revealed to be an official to the library, Clark Ashton. And so yeah, this is one of my favorite episodes as well. Too. This is really far up the list, and yeah, and the way they designed Cthulhu was really really menacing. Took some time that which by the way um excuse me another honorable mention that I do oh excuse me another honorable mention that I do want to bring up was a battle between a giant mantis and Mr. Stay Puft and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and uh, and yeah, it had a lot of nice um, kaiju references into that one, which I thought was pretty cool. So okay, keynotes from the called collect call of Cthulhu. The episode title is misspelled. There's no A in Cthulhu. Um, H.P. Lovecraft was referenced a lot in this episode. Um, he was an American author of horror, fantasy, sci-fi, and weird fiction. Uh, One other note: Clark Ashton's tirade was a reference to Lovecraft's Call of Cthulhu, because there was a um, of the cult of Cthulhu. So yeah, he made a few books in regards to Cthulhu, and if you ever get a chance to read those, they're a good read. But yeah, this really sticks out because um it's really up there that the fact that Ghostbusters are going up against Cthulhu and they come up with a really clever way to get rid of them. I'm not going to spoil it here, but I will mention that this line is in that episode. Uh, he makes Gozer look like Little Mary Sunshine, and I gotta look up the name Little Mary Sunshine. I think it's a it's a reference to um Shirley Temple, but I don't know. I don't know. This I gotta really look into that and everything. So, but I will Google that name, but I won't do it in this episode because you know I want to. We got some episodes to do and everything. Okay, and the number one favorite Real Ghostbusters episode. This one is my personal favorite, and you'll love it too. And the episode is When Halloween Was Forever. In the spirit of Halloween, this is a high recommendation to watch. Um, it's Halloween, and the Ghostbusters are busier than ever. Meanwhile, two goblins summon Sam Hain, a powerful ghost, a powerful ghost king that was sealed in a tomb in a museum. Samhain, Samhain summons all ghosts, including Slimer, but Slimer is immune to Samhain's powers and is branded as a traitor. Egon quickly comes up with a plan to expose Samhain's weakness and save Slimer. But yeah, this is basically a personal favorite of mine because in the keynotes that I put here, Samhain is or Samhain, but I'm calling him Samhain, is considered to be a popular villain to the Ghostbusters series, as he shows up a few more times in the series, including Extreme Ghostbusters. Um, yeah, he makes one more appearance in the Extreme Ghostbusters to seek revenge. and everything like that. And that was the episode that I was talking about. Um, and if I'm not mistaken, um, the original Ghostbusters come and help out too. So all eight of them are just you know are helping and everything like that. So yeah, it's a really good one. That one's actually my personal favorite as well. But yeah, Sam Hain, he was a really good villain for the Ghostbusters. I'm a little bit surprised that on the movies, because even though the Afterlife and Frozen Empire were they had some reference to the Ghostbusters cartoon. I was kind of like, even with Afterlife, I think that it would have worked that way. But I kind of understand why they didn't go that route. But maybe I would love to see a live action Sondheim. I think that that would be a really good episode, or a really good movie, because Sondheim was really a brutal ghost. And he was a very popular villain to the Ghostbusters. And he was basically that cartoon's version of Gozer. I think that even though I would have loved to see Gozer in that one, or even Vigo. But yeah, they do reference Vigo later on in the series too. Um, but yeah, this was a really it's my personal favorite. And but yeah, anytime Sam Hain was on there, it's like, oh boy. And when I mean by oh boy, that means that shit hit the fan, not shit hitting the toilet, like I just did a few not too long ago at the beginning of the episode. I know that's TMI, but still, and everything. Yeah, the real Ghostbusters. I mean, you can watch it. You can watch the shows now on on the Friendly app, and also you can if you have Me TV Tunes, definitely worth watching, because it is a really good it is a really good show. It is. I mean, for the time in there, the animation was amazing. Um, and yeah, it was really good. And yeah, the early episodes, um, the earlier episodes, were pretty scary. Were pretty scary. They had some really the ghosts were really good. Slimer, one episode that's also an honorable mention, Slimer Come Home. Um, that one was also pretty good, and that one was a little bit dark, because Slimer, of course, gets kidnapped, and he's trapped inside a ghost body, and his jacket's open. His jacket's open and everything, and he has Slimer in, trying to fight his way out of the ghost. I mean, out of that ghost and everything. Oh, it was so creepy and everything, and that in a way it was kind of disturbing too. But I still love that episode as well too. I mean, I pretty much love all the episodes. But then later on, it just gotten more. It was getting more kid friendly and everything. Um, that's why when they did Slimer and the World Ghostbusters, they had these shorts in there as well. And yeah, and then they brought in Lewis. They brought in Lewis Tully as well. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Even though it was cool to see Lewis Tully, I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't have Dana Barrett in there. I think Dana Barrett would have been really cool to have. But yeah, this was really. But I understand why they didn't bring Dana Barrett in there because of the fact that in the second Ghostbusters movie, she explains that she got married, and she left New York for a while. Then she came back. But, but yeah, this was a really good show, and and everything. And I, I s- I highly recommend that you watch it because you know excuse me. I highly recommend that you watch it. I mean, if there's a way for you to watch it, do so. I mean, you can get them online through various ways, but um, it's also on my TV Tunes, me TV Tunes. I mean, I'm sorry, and yeah, this was definitely a good show. It really was, and this was a part of my childhood, and go as a matter of fact, Ghostbusters is a part of my childhood because I grew up with the Ghostbusters. Even the filmation ones and everything were through inspiration, were inspired. Um, Ghost, Ghost Board to secure rights and everything like that. And it was a tough struggle, but in a way, I mean, you take a look of how wonderful, you take a look at how that Ghostbusters came to be and everything, and on here now, you know, you look at it and yeah, it's a huge take on something that was unique for a long time ago. So without these Ghostbusters, that older version of Ghostbusters, there wouldn't be this version of Ghostbusters that we all grew up with the merchandise, the toy from toys, video games, um, comic books. You know, big shout out, to the comic books. And the comics are still growing. I mean, they got a Ghostbusters universe in the comic books, as well, and yeah, this was a really big deal, and they had Ghostbusters. They had a Ghostbusters breakfast cereal, which was awesome. It was a really good cereal, I think. Um, and it was simple. It was simple. They had they had the Ghostbusters logo with ghost marshmallows, and yeah, that was all it was. But then, um, when Slimer came out, when Slimer became a kid friendly, icon, he they added um green slime marshmallows in there. And if I remember correctly, it would turn your cereal would turn your the milk would turn green. It's a thing that happened. And so yeah, it was a really cool it was a really cool cereal. Um, they had like a cutout door hanger, that glue in the dark. That was awesome. That was awesome. Um, they had um, of course, Ghostbusters T-shirts and everything. And yeah, it was an awesome moment and everything. And you know, there's going to be more Ghostbusters movie down the road. And as I mentioned last week, there's going to be it's going to be in production. There's going to be in production. The fifth Ghostbusters movie is going to be in production, and and yeah, we're not going to be worried about the Paul Feig version of Ghostbusters, the all female Ghostbusters, but you know, I'm sure I'm sure somewhere down the road they'll cross paths. and everything like that. But yeah, it'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting. And oh boy, and yeah, this was a wonderful moment and everything, and I'm glad that I was able to share this with you. And so yeah, this episode was relatively quick. Managed to get it done within an hour. But um, so with that being said, thank you for allowing me to share this experience with you. And the response to Ghostbusters Month has been really, really amazing. I am really glad for that. And and yeah, if you want me to do something similar like this, um, in future October episodes, definitely let me know. If not, if not now, it'll be later on in your convenience, because I am going to be doing something like this again. Um, maybe somewhere down the road, if not, because I did, I got, the month of August to myself. I got and some other specials that I do as well too. But I really want to like expand this and have so that we can have fun with this and everything. Maybe I'll do a month of Star Wars and everything like that, which is also something really cool. And so yeah, this was an experiment that that I wanted to try for a long time, and I'm glad it paid off. And I have all of you to thank for making this happen. So with that being said, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you all so much for making for making this Ghostbusters month really special for me. Um, your love for the Ghostbusters, my love for the Ghostbusters, and you know, it really paid off. And with that being said, thank you, for tuning in, and be sure to follow me on Twitter at TomDog247. If you missed any of tonight's episode, you can check it out as soon as I turn off the camera. Uh, Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below what is your favorite Real Ghostbusters episode. I'm really curious to know um, what you. Um, I'm curious, and I would love to know what your favorite Real Ghostbusters episode in the comments down below. And ringy dingy that bell to stay notified of when I'm going to be doing next. And be sure to support small streamers like myself by doing the most important thing that you can do for us small streamers like myself. And we'll love you forever. We'll love you more than busting ghosts. And there's only one way to do that. Even if you don't hit that like button, even if you don't leave a comment, even if you don't even ring that bell. If you did, but even if you did like what you see here and you want to see more like this, then you got to do this one thing, and we'll just love you forever. Like I said, we'll love you more than busting ghosts, and that is face hug that subscribe button. We will see you here tomorrow, um, in a special Channel X ish, um, Tom Dog Plays live stream, to wrap up Ghostbusters month. Like I said, I'm going to be doing Ghostbusters, the video game, the remastered Ghostbusters video game, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that, and with that baby to close, and I'll finally give that a home in the you know, and yeah, this is going to be a really good. It's going to be really cool, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So yeah, um, excuse me, and so yeah, and And then of course, this weekend we got the Wrestling Prime uh show to deal with and everything. We got a lot of fun little stuff going on there. But tomorrow is where you want to be. You want to be here tomorrow. We're not going to be going on Twitch. We're going to be right here on YouTube, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So yeah, I'm gonna dust off everything on the PlayStation and everything, and yeah, we're gonna do things old school and everything like that. So I'll be I'll break out the old camera too, or maybe I'll just update it. I don't know. Haven't debated yet. So I'm gonna be doing some test runs tomorrow before to make sure I go before I go live and everything. But yeah, but this one is not. I'm not putting on the StreamYard, so because I can stream live on my PlayStation. So if I'm playing a game. So um, but nonetheless, there will be notifications going up on what I'm going to be doing and everything. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So like I said, thank you all so much for tuning in and everything. And be safe tomorrow if you're going. If you're bringing your kids out trick or treating, or if you're going out trick or treating, or really be safe out there. And plus, also for you adults out there that are having if their guys are having any Halloween parties, also to be safe. Be safe regardless of what you do, whether you're a kid or an adult. Always be safe, and also, and yeah, because we don't want to see you turn into a ghost too, because busting does make us feel good. Us Ghostbusters feel good and everything like that, and we don't want to you don't want to be winding up in no containment unit. So yeah, um, so yeah, we'll see you all here tomorrow, and yeah, till then, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace. Busting makes me feel good. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow.